Bumblin Biden is imploding right before our very eyes. His announcement of banning Russian oil, combined with his own ban on drilling here at home, promises to sink his presidency once and for all. In this video, we'll look at the inevitable costs that are going to skyrocket from this ban on Russia. We're going to see how Biden is running out of options with oil, and stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll show you why Russia may end up relatively unscathed by all of this, which promises to sink Biden even further. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. Welcome to your Patriot Professor's Den, where I help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we begin, what do you think of this shirt, huh? Biden licking his ice cream with the whole world exploding all around him. I can't think of anything more accurate. And you can get yours just by clicking on the link below. You can support this channel by visiting our awesome merch store. It has all kinds of t-shirts and swag for you and for the patriots in your life. We've got our awesome line of Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, as well as brand new Freedom Trucker shirts, our rhino hunting shirts, you name it, all just by clicking on that link below. Again, I love hearing the most common feedback we get, which is how often random people are going to come up to you and compliment your shirt when you wear it out in public. It's just so awesome. Creates some fellowship there. Your purchases will, of course, be spreading Patriot hope as well as supporting this channel. So make sure to click on this link below right now or go to store.turleytalks.com. That's store.turleytalks.com. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Bumblin Biden has officially announced that the United States will ban all Russian oil imports, all gas and energy imports. Russia is the third largest exporter of oil and gas in the world, and Biden did not hide the fact that this ban will indeed affect you. You and I are going to be paying gas prices that we have never seen in our lifetimes. And this is because all of this is coming right after Biden initiated a self-inflicted wound when a couple of weeks back, Biden officials announced an indefinite suspension of any plans to drill for oil on any federal land. It was clearly a green light, as it were, for the green energy industry that Biden is all in with the solar and wind power and the like. But now, with Russian oil exports basically at a standstill in the world markets, the price of oil is about to rocket like we have never seen in our lifetimes. The national average as of the making of this video is around $4 a gallon, and we ain't seen nothing yet. Already in California, there are reports that some gas stations are charging upwards of $6 a gallon. Again, with all that's going on here, Biden did make it clear prices are going to rise and rise significantly, so we ain't seen nothing yet. So what sense should we make of all of this? Well, first and foremost, let's just be crystal clear here. First and foremost, Biden is by all accounts an absolute abysmal failure. Biden makes Jimmy Carter look like Winston Churchill. Now, of course, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan under Carter. You had the OPEC oil embargo, right? But not even Carter could compare to the utter incompetence, the ideologically inflicted incompetence of Bumblin Biden and his inner circle. And that's because the massive, unprecedented sanctions against Russia are in the end only resulting in a horrific boomerang effect that will have minimal impact on Russia and maximum impact on the U.S. and Europe. Take a look at what President Trump tweeted out. Breaking news, highest gas prices in history. Do you miss me yet? Yes, for heaven's sakes, yes. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, too, wasted no time in ripping into Biden, calling his administration a, quote, dumpster fire of a presidency, and implored Biden to at least have the integrity of reestablishing America's energy independence in the face of the current energy crisis. As Jack Posobiec pointed out, we're seeing upwards of $200 a barrel coming, all the while Biden bans Russian imports, but does nothing to promote American energy independence. In the meantime, Biden has actually been frankly humiliating on the world stage. As we reported on yesterday, Biden officials, they actually traveled to Caracas, Venezuela to grovel before President Nicolas Maduro to see if he would be willing to supplement the oil and gas that we would otherwise have gotten from Russia. I mean, You literally can't make this stuff up. Venezuela itself has been under crippling U.S. sanctions for some time now. And now Bumblin Biden, with nowhere else to turn, now Bumblin Biden is groveling before Maduro, promising to ease those sanctions. If he would just please supplement the now banned Russian oil exports. Keep in mind, this humiliating groveling is coming after Saudi Arabia smacked down Biden's pleading with them to increase their oil production. So Biden's shot. He has no choice but to go to regimes like Venezuela and to add insult to injury to Iran as well. There is a growing sense of dismay over why Biden has yet to turn to Canada for oil supplies. Perhaps it has a little something to do with the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline. I don't know. That's none of my business. All right. It's anyone's guess at this point. But I do believe that we may indeed be seeing the end of the Biden administration right now as we speak. If prices go up the way they look like they will across the board, remember, you can't raise energy and gas prices without affecting the price of literally everything. If we end up seeing an inflation that would be the logical outworking of all of this incompetence, I don't know. I don't think Biden is going to survive this, no more than Carter did. And to make it even worse, we actually may see at the same time Russia's economy recover much faster than our own, which would only add insult to injury, wouldn't it? Russia seems to have been fully prepared for this massive barrage of Western sanctions, and they made arrangements, particularly with China, in accordance with that preparation. The ruble, of course, has relatively stabilized after their central bank raised interest rates to 20%. And since Russia's required all nations sanctioning them to pay for Russian exports in rubles. They've largely weaned themselves off from SWIFT after 30% of Russia's banks were expelled from SWIFT, the default worldwide financial exchange platform, right? They announced that they would be using China's alternative financial transaction platform, which is called KIPS. When Visa and MasterCard announced that they would be sanctioning Russia, Russia's domestic Mir card, it's called the Ruski Mir, it's used all over the Russian world. It suddenly became very, very popular, especially as it's being linked up to China's Visa and MasterCard substitute, which is called Union Pay system, which actually is substantially bigger than Visa and MasterCard. Reported the other day that Russian officials began active preparations for disconnecting their internet technologies from the worldwide internet. Apparently, all servers and domains used in Russia must be transferred to the Russian zone by March 11th. And again, we now know this kind of IT preparation has been going on for at least the last few years. Deutsche Welle reported back in January 2018 that Russia was already moving towards the creation of an independent internet, installing its own root servers within its own geographical and political spheres. So again, as I've been arguing consistently over the last week or so, this all points to the fact that Russia is actively building what scholars call a civilization state that has officially emancipated itself from the neoliberal globalist order. We now know that that's the reason why Putin is not afraid of any economic sanctions coming out of the U.S. and the EU. It's because he is actively, intentionally decoupling the Russian economy, the Russian culture, and the whole of the Russian state from the neoliberal globalist order. And in so doing, I believe he is most certainly preparing for China to follow suit and do the same as the next official post-globalist civilization. That, I believe, is the big picture of what is happening today. And that's why I believe so much of these sanctions that the U.S. and the EU are leveling against Russia are really, in the end, only going to boomerang. And again, it appears that that's precisely Russia's intention. They recognize that this war was going to be fought on three fronts, as it were, right? So there's we talked about this. There's a military front, there's an economic front, and there's a cultural front led primarily by the media and the media's coverage of the war. So as I mentioned again, I think it was in a video the other day, we're seeing a military battle, we're seeing a monetary battle, and we're seeing a media battle, right? So military, money, and media. And it does appear that Russia was prepared for all three. The boomerang consequence for the economic front that the West is already experiencing as a direct consequence of their sanctions against Russia seems at least to be playing right into Russia's hand, given the amount of preparation Russia made leading up to this, particularly with China. So all of this is to say we may indeed be seeing the Biden administration officially imploding right before our very eyes. Time will tell. I mean, we'll certainly keep our eyes, we'll keep a watch on the polls, as it were. But if the late 1970s are any indicator, the Bumblin Biden regime is, as of today, done. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on how Biden is being even more humiliated, with the newest poll showing that the majority of voters believe he's actually mentally unfit to be president. Yes, I know, surprise, surprise, but you're not going to want to miss it. Make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.